There was no doubt about it. The last 3 or 4 trips to the mountains and outdoors in Scotland that I'd had been absolutely fantastic. I'd spent days above temperature inversions, looking out across seas of clouds to mountain tops, poking through them, to fantastic winter days with clear skies and snowy mountains. It'd been absolutely brilliant. However, there's always a yin to the yang, and yeah, sometimes karma can come back and strike. And that had certainly happened to me. These fantastic days had been tempered with an injury that I'd picked up not long after them, or during them, I don't know which. And that led to me trying to do something and trying to get out because I'd been stuck in the house. And that takes me to today's video, and to me in a car park waiting for Jerry. Good morning, folks. How are you today? And today I'm on another adventure. I'm in a car park in the Highlands waiting for Jerry to turn up. But today's adventure is going to be a little bit different. If you've been watching the vlogs, you'll know that I've hurt my knee, so I've had about 2.5 weeks of doing nothing. I haven't even been taking the dog for a walk, really trying to allow it to rest. So I've had to pick my adventures carefully and try to give my knee as much time to recover as possible. So, as I said, it's a wee bit different today, but all will be revealed when Jerry joins me at the car park. But for now, I'm going to have to go and get ready because this adventure is going to take me a wee bit longer to get all my gear sorted and ready to set off. So I shall report back with me and Jerry in a wee while. Right, take me to get my stuff ready. Whew. So I set about getting my gear ready, and before long Jerry appeared with his transport for the day, and it wasn't a Defender. Right folks, you can see a bit of a different attire now, and the man has arrived. There he is. So Jerry's very kindly accommodating me with my slightly gammy knee today.
Sitting down sports.
Sitting down sports. So we're going to get the kayaks. Mine is still on top of the car. Jerry's wheeled his all the way from his house. He didn't need transport today.
Hell of a journey that was. Yeah.
So what's the plans then? Are we going to try and find
a wee
somewhere?
paddle. The forecast is not too bad. The wind will pick up a wee bit. Might rain a wee bit, but maybe go and see if we find a castle on an island.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. And maybe get some food, something healthy. I think
I've got some health food.
A health food.
Yeah.
Well, I think people that watch the video know how healthy it
Have
may
a very
be.
healthy diet.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have any McDonald's today, so that's healthy straight away.
It must be 10 o'clock. I think.
I'll get on the way down the road, and is it Balmaha or Balloch or wherever it is? I always get these two mixed up.
Both.
Right, I'm going to shut up there. We're going to get this kayak off and we'll report back when we're down at the water. Right, shall we? Let's do it. I'll set this up. So we set about getting the kayak off the roof of the car and made our short portage down to the shores of the Loch where we were setting off from. And I was a bit apprehensive about today, not just about my sore knee, but it had been, well, probably a good few years since I'd actually been out in the kayak, so I wasn't sure how my arms as well as my knee were going to cope. And on top of that, the forecasted conditions were for quite blustery winds coming up from the south, gusting 20-25 mile an hour. But when we got down to the shore side, those winds didn't seem to be in any way showing themselves. It was flat cam here, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't pick up later on and be in our faces on the way back, so we had to be very mindful of that. And the only other thing we had to worry about was finding somewhere to access the island, if we got that far, to have some healthy food next to the castle. But anyway, it was soon time to get paddling, and off we set towards the first island of the day. That's us on the water. We're going to head up the coast and hug the coastline to see if we can find this castle. And there's Jerry just heading on off, nice and calm, lovely. Right, camera away, let's get paddling. Lovely though. Woo! I'm going to go a bit closer just so when we'll try and get it so it's behind us when we'll raft up. Oh, that was a close one. I just nearly shaved the back of your bow. Was it your bow at the back or was that the stern? Bows at the front?
Stern.
You would have been stern if I hit you.
It's a technique used for teaching people in the paddle board.
Yeah.
Behind them you can put, like I'm deliberately steering you now.
You're hitting me. Look at this. Do you see this?
You.
I'm meant to be going that way.
Okay, I'll go the other way.
See what I'm up against? We're parking up. We're going to raft together so we can do a bit to camera. So we've not really talked about where we are, have we? We're on the Loch of Lomond, and the Loch Lomond in Trossachs National Park, funnily enough.
Yep.
It's a lovely morning, isn't it, Jerry?
It is quite calm.
Yeah.
A wee bit of a breeze.
Down that way is lovely light. Just I'll spin you around in a wee while, but lovely light, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So we've come to our first island, which is called
Tarbet Isle, or Isle Tarbet. Tarbet Isle. Stuff I put in my Defender.
So this is the first island.
It's a Scottish joke, yeah.
Is it I think so. Yeah, we're not going to go on shore to this humongous island just now because it's a bit rocky, isn't it?
It's quite a small island. There's apparently, I think, it's a Bronze Age remains on it.
Oh, I don't know.
There are a wee. Basically, all you can see is a wee circle of stones, but it's been excavated by archaeologists.
Ah, right. Well,
who do that sort of thing.
Just a lump of rock, isn't it?
Yeah. The story was, the local legend was that the local McFarlanes, which you might hear more of later, used to put newlywed couples on the island, and if you lasted a week without somebody swimming ashore, then it was going to be a good marriage.
Right.
So they say.
Right,
but I think, it's quite a short swim, so I think probably quite a lot of marriages didn't last.
It's a short swim, but am I right in saying the deepest part of the loch round about here somewhere? Not right here, but just...
So opposite Tarbet, it's about 650, somebody will correct us, but about 650 feet deep. This is the deepest bit of the trench. As you know, the three bits of the loch, the lower basin, the wide basin, up towards Loch, and south of Loch is just shallow. It's about 40 foot deep. It's wide, very silty. It's got lots of islands, and then there's a middle bit from Loch up to Inverberg, and that's a transition zone. It's getting deeper. The hills are coming straight into the loch, and then from Inverberg north, it's steep and deep. And these crags that you see at the side of the loch, they continue under the water, which is unfortunate. Some people forget that and go for a paddle.
Just deep, yeah. I suppose that's the safety message from today's, isn't it? Don't go swimming unless you're a confident swimmer and know what you're doing here, because the water's cold all year round and there's deep drop-offs, isn't there?
Certainly are.
So anyway, I think it's something to do with the Highland boundary fault as well, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Jerry's getting bored, he's heading off.
No, I was just trying to make sure we keep the island in shot.
Oh, right, well there we go. It's the island behind us.
They don't want to see us, they want to see the island.
Right, shall we will we get going anyway, because my arm's getting sore holding this camera.
Okay, good, let's go.
Let's go, right. Onwards we go. So on past Tarbet Isle we went, and I did a bit of research, and there was excavations which found Bronze Age artefacts on the island, but also remains of a two-storey or a two-roomed building. I wonder if that was the honeymoon suite from the 15th and 16th century. Anyway, after setting off from Tarbet, we passed the small isle, and yeah, it was a wee bit of a distance to head up to get to our final destination, which was another island, as I said, with a castle on it. And after a wee bit more paddling, I was starting to feel the heat. I'd made my usual mistake of putting too many layers on, and we found a lovely little bay to stop so I could de-layer and get my temperature back to normal. So just what we were talking about earlier on, we're on a nice wee bay here, aren't we, Jerry?
Lovely wee sandy beach, look. You can just walk into the water.
Yeah, we'll see Jerry's feet there. And there, but pretty quickly it drops. When we were in it's black. Literally you can't see the bottom there. So it drops off.
Yep.
Super steep. So we're just stopping here. One of the mistakes I always make is I put a jumper on underneath this and I am roasting. So we'll take the jumper off here. Then we'll get further up and see if we can find this castle and the island. Right. Let's get this jumper off. So the weather was actually still quite pleasant at this point where we stopped for me to take a layer off. And yeah, although there was a bit of brightness to the south, the clouds were moving into the north and it looked like rain wasn't far away. But luckily for us, the forecast winds still hadn't picked up. You can see the waves are running right to left in the picture there, and that's south to north, so we knew we'd be coming back into it, so we still had to be careful. It's all fine and well paddling with the wind at your back, but if you travel too far and the winds pick up and you're going head first into it, it can make it a bit more difficult. Anyway, got my cagoule and my gear back on. My knee was actually quite sore at this point. You might think that a bit strange, but I think the angle it was sitting at in the kayak, and sometimes when you're kayaking, it's not just your arms you use to power yourself along. I must have been putting some pressure on my knees. So anyway, I sat my bum back down and we started to head back onto the loch and head northbound to see if we could find the castle on the island, which lay a little bit further to our north. After a bit more paddling along that lovely inky black surface, we were soon approaching our destination and the island and the castle. I tell you what, we were looking forward to some grub when we got there. Jerry's approaching the destination, which is the island. Hopefully there'll be a castle on it. We're just going to head round it. I'll spin you around so you can see where we're going. There's Jerry there, and that is the island. We're going to try and get onto it, so we're going to go around it and find a suitable spot to pop the kayaks on, and then we'll get some food. Yeah, the rain's on now, but it's quite. There's no wind and it's been quite settled. You can see there's not many waves. Certainly no white horses, so it's lovely. So lovely. So now that we were at the island, the only remaining obstacle was to find somewhere to land and get out of the kayak so we could go and have our food. So we circumnavigated the island and eventually found a lovely, lovely little sandy bay where we approached to put our kayaks in and to get our stoves and some food out. We have now arrived, docked our boats that we are down there. Look at that, lovely wee spot for them. There's a wee sandy bay here. It's not too far from the actual shores of the loch, but far enough that you'd probably have to swim or bring a kayak to get to. Is that right, Jerry?
You wouldn't get across the water now, so Jesus is supposed to edit that out.
Well, neither of us are Jesus that we know at the moment. So
bear with me, my son.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're here. We've stocked the kayaks down there. We're going to give you a wee tour. But what's this called? Is it
Inveruglis Isle, and I think it's McFarlane's castle. The remains of
right.
McFarlane, I think.
Behind us is a castle.
Oh, sorry, I've spoiled the big reveal.
Again, so remember your contract thing we're talking about. That's shocking. We're going to give you a wee tour, so will we do that? Will we go?
Yeah,
let's spin the camera around and
look at this.
And see. So this is the mighty castle of McFarlane. It's actually, I think it dates back to the 15th century or something, isn't it?
Quite a big structure actually, and
so we'll go up and have a look.
What an acidness went on.
So we went up and had a wee look around the castle, also at the same time looking for somewhere to have our lunch and cook some nice healthy food. We think we'd earned it. It was quite a paddle up here.
In we go.
But yeah, we soon entered the castle.
There's Jerry.
We'll try to find the dining room.
Circular room here with windows.
Oh yeah.
Good thick walls.
Is that where the jacuzzi would have gone?
Probably.
Probably.
I think, you know, got a polyfiller and a lick of paint and this would be fine.
Aye, fine, wouldn't it? Just making our decoration plans for it, but no dining room table, so we're going to have to find somewhere to get the stoves going. Also looks like there's another wee turret bit over there.
Yeah, I always, you know, find it amazing, these structures, to try and imagine what it was like living in a place like this, eh?
Yeah. Well, not very good if you were a woman, apparently. You were saying they chopped their breasts off or something.
I think there's some story about McFarlane and a revenge attack doing a mastectomy on some young milkmaid.
Oh, horrendous. It's the Highlands is full of horror stories.
I think it was a Wild West, literally.
You don't have to go and watch horror movies like Friday the 13th. Just read a bit of history about Scotland.
So there's a chap called, an author called Seaton Gordon.
Okay.
And he writes about all the old legends of the Highlands and Scotland. And yeah, I've got various old Seaton Gordon books. And
Seaton Gordon.
Seaton Gordon, yeah, that's today's tip.
Tip for the day. I might have to go and check that as well. Anyway, right, we're going to get some grub and some coffee. Right. Let's go. Find the front garden. After discussing some more of the rather gruesome history of the Highlands, it really is some place. It's not just the Glencoe massacre, but events like that happened for hundreds of years up and down the Highlands with the clans fighting. It's something else really. But anyway, after that we headed to find a spot where we could sit and get the stoves out and make some food. We were both pretty well, we were ravished, starving, really looking forward to some food. And Jerry very kindly decided to do the cooking and brought some lovely food for us to both enjoy on the island.
Fatty stuff, so it dries good, you know.
No, it's all healthy. That's not actually bacon, is it? It's broccoli shaped like bacon.
Bacon substitute.
So I'd like to have said we've edited something out there, but there's I think you can get things like nettle soup and pine needle soup. So Jerry's very kindly added some pine needles to the bacon and egg.
That Ray Mears guy, he thinks he's something. This bacon and egg, we always add some Scotch pine needles. Yeah.
Wasn't any worms down there or anything, was there? No.
If there is, that bags it.
All right, okay.
Oh, get a close up of that.
Oh, here we go. Look at that.
Very good.
Yep. Oh, this is lovely, Jerry.
Not bad at all.
So we've got bacon and egg. Oh, what's this?
We have two choices, and this can often lead to division and fighting.
Well, you know what I'm going to go for. I mean, brown sauce is good for nobody. Can I have the red sauce, please? Or do you want the red sauce?
No, I just never met anyone that liked red sauce rather than brown sauce.
Oh, really? I've never met anybody that likes brown sauce.
This can't go on.
Red sauce is much.
Steamy boots, no more.
Not going to go out. Put in the comments below which is better, red sauce or brown sauce. Red sauce all the way, or tomato ketchup. There'll probably be people saying don't call it red sauce, but yeah. Like anyway, let's enjoy. Thank you very much, Jerry. Fantastic.
Thank Carol for the sauce.
Right, so we've Jerry made some lovely bacon and egg sandwiches, which you probably saw. I had the tomato sauce, Jerry had the brown sauce.
Yeah.
Jerry's got proper coffee. I've got instant coffee, but it's caffeine on the left.
Freshly ground, percolated coffee.
And as a wee treat, we've got, wait till you see this, big reveal, some Bakewell tarts. Lovely, so we're going to have them before we set off again on our journey back down the Loch. But lovely, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Nice. Right.
Nice wee secluded island.
Yeah.
Not too far from the road though.
Yeah, the road's just over there unfortunately, but nah, it's fine. It's lovely. The clouds are over the tops today, so we can't see the mountain tops, but usually you can see all the Arrochar Alps, Ben Lomond, all the Trossachs and Loch Lomond National Park peaks.
That's a great viewpoint, but not today.
No.
However, it does have a character.
It does.
Nice wee lolly berry.
Christmas is coming. Right, we're packing up now, putting everything back in the waterproof bags. But on a serious note, we've not left anything. Jerry's collected all the eggshells.
No eggshells, nothing. Certainly didn't leave any of the bacon and eggs.
Definitely none of that.
There's no trace of that.
Maybe a bit of brown sauce if it spilled out, because you wouldn't want to be eating that. You maybe spat out after that. Yeah, all seriousness, leave all trace. We did notice somebody had left something rather unpleasant, and there's a spot just over here which doesn't take much to just tidy
dig a wee hole and yeah. Anyway,
right. on that lovely note, shall we go back to the kayaks?
Let's go.
We'll head back down and we'll report back in a wee while. Having had our food and being well fed and watered, we headed back around the castle and back down to the kayaks. It's a small island, it's not big, it'll take you 10 minutes to explore, but it's a very, very interesting place. Anyway, the rain was now on, although you can't really tell it from this footage. It was pretty constant, light rain ever since we'd arrived at the island, and we were just concerned that the winds might pick up, because that can often happen when weather moves in. So we got the boats and the kayaks back onto the water and started heading south back down the loch and into that headwind. And after a little while, just as I was leaving the island, I noticed something out the corner of my eye and I wasn't quite sure what it is. Have a look here. Anyone figure out what it is? Leave a comment in the comments below. That cormorant's still there.
Eh?
The cormorant's still there. Oh, there it is there. Something there.
Eh?
There's something right there came up. I don't think it was a fish, it's maybe an otter or something.
Whereabouts, buddy?
Right there. It's between me and the island, so it could be anywhere. After hanging around for some time, the underwater monster didn't reappear, so we set off back down the loch, a bit fearful that it was following us, it was going to attack us at any moment. And after maybe about an hour and a half, we soon made it back. The weather wasn't quite as nice on the way back, but still those forecast winds didn't materialise, so we got back safely. What a fantastic trip it had been. A good one for me with my sore knee, and yeah, let's just hope that I'm not doing too many kayaking trips and I can get back into the mountains, but it's always nice just to get out and about, whether it be up a mountain or on a loch. I'd felt much better for it. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure.